Hi everyone, it's Nancy here, back with another process video for you. And here I am just picking out my stash, and while moving my stuff back into the caravan this weekend, I found the Wild and Free collection pack, which I'd kind of been saving because I liked so much. It was from Glitz, and it was out last year I believe, but I really liked it, but hadn't used it. So I pulled out this heart piece of paper, and then I've pulled out a piece of dark turquoise cardstock. That cardstock is just from a Scraptastic kit. I have just trimmed the photo down a little bit because this is a photo taken in the mirror, like my mirror in my hallway at the caravan, and it kind of had a bit of like the wall showing where I hadn't got it all in the mirror, so it was a bit distracting, so I just cut that down. I've then taken this piece of Dear Lizzie paper, and it's just a green sort of mint ombre, and I'm using that to mount my photo. And at this stage I'm not 100% sure what colour I'm going to pick out of the background, but the photo was quite busy because I'm wearing my superhero top, so I kind of just, I wanted kind of quite a busy paper. As I'm just trimming that down. My blade is getting blunt again, so I must look at getting another blade. I am still on my spending freeze, as you all know, but I am allowing myself to buy essentials if I need them. I believe I might have a blade, a spare blade somewhere, so I need to have a look and find that. If not, I will permit myself to just go and buy some more blades. I probably would say the blades in this Fiskars trimmer will last me about... Sorry, I was having a yawn then. They last me about 6 weeks, I'd say. Something else I found while tidying up in the caravan was my border punches. I did get rid of quite a lot of my border punches. I sold them at the local crop, but I kept a couple, and I really like this bracket border. And so I've just taken a piece of Power glitter paper and punched it out the side, and I really like how that looks. It just adds a little bit of interest. Dear me, I'm yawning again. I then take a piece of the red polka dot paper, and that was from the February Scraptastic kit. It's one of the last full sheets of paper that I've got from that, and it was from the Fancy Pants, I think. It might be Echo Park, actually, one of the Echo Park papers. So, I also, when I was sorting out my stuff to move to caravan, found a pile of mini kits. I didn't find them, they were just kind of sat with other stuff on top of them, really, so rediscovered them, let's say. And so I'm just going through those. This is the polka dot party one from Dear Lizzie, and the pink in that matches this pink really well, so I always find that I prefer the, well, not prefer, I like the 4x6 cards more than the 3x4 cards. But, I'm kind of just going through, seeing what matches, and I haven't actually used much from that at all. This is the Daydreamer one, and I think I've maybe used one card, maybe 2 cards from this, so I'm trying to just flip through and find some that match in. Sorry, I don't know why, I'm literally been sitting here fine, and then I go to record a video and I start yawning. It's bizarre. So I pull a couple of cards out of there, and I'm just going to kind of play around with how I'm going to work that border. I end up flipping that punched edge piece over, and then using a card outside, and I do cut one of the cards down there. Because the colours actually on the other side of it, you'll see it over on the side of my desk, actually worked really well with this background paper. But there wasn't really enough of a contrast. And I did contemplate inking my edges, but then I thought, no, I can't be bothered. I used to do it like on every layout, I think, when I was in my Chamel phase, let's say. But no, I decided not to. Now I want to grunge up this background, because it's just too clean, too graphic looking. So I take my favourite brayer, which is the polka dot brayer, and I love how if you layer this, it kind of looks a bit like confetti, kind of, you know, like the confetti stamps and stuff you can get. And I really love that, so I am just placing my favourite one to make sure that, you know, I've covered enough of the area. As I said, I really love that. It's just like another, you know, a layer. And it breaks up the bold pattern as well. So I'm just adding some black mist over the top of that, just to add some slightly more solid bits. I'm getting it everywhere, so I'm just trying to clean that up. And then I'm going to take out some other mists as well. And this is the fuchsia from Delusions. Probably doesn't show up too great on camera, but it does add a little bit of contrast in person. I then decided, because I've gone for the metallic power paper, I am just going to take out the seafoam and add a little bit of that, and it just kind of adds a little bit of glimmer onto this, so it works really well. Here I am cutting out the camera from the Polka Dot Party 3x4 card, and I go to all the hassle to cut it out, and even all the hassle to paint it, but it doesn't go on this layout. In hindsight, I probably should have used my watercolours rather than the Delusions ink, because it's just too strong. It's the wrong kind of pink. So it will go in the die cut box, it will get used. Oh no, you can see my head poking in there, that's nice. So yeah, I do kind of swap over my brushes as well, because the other one was a bit of a rubbish brush. But yeah, I didn't like it, it was just looked a bit wrong. So that won't. I do place it on the layout. It's not at this point. I decided it doesn't really work, but oh, sorry, yawning again. This is ridiculous. It is in the evening, but you know, it's not like I'm like curled up in bed, like narrating this. Like I can hardly stay awake. Oh look, and now my phone's going. But yeah, so you see that I was kind of planning on putting it. Actually, just glancing at it on a video, it didn't actually look too bad. So maybe it could have worked. I pull out my die cut box and just look at going through, just pulling bits and pieces out. I've got some 3x4 Project Life cards that I'd used previously and sort of cut up. So I pull a few of those out. And at this stage, as I said, I'm just going through looking at things where the colours are going to work. So I pull out some transparencies, a vellum piece. I think I pull, yeah, that's an ormolu piece from Scraptastic Cut Parts. And I'm just kind of going through, just seeing if there's any other little bits and pieces that I can use up on this layout. So my video is actually frozen at the moment. But oh yes, and I pull out one of those little jelly bean soup, like little corrugated potty people, because I decided that I want to put that on this layout as well. This layout's not about anything really in particular. I hadn't scrapbooked for like a week and a half when I did this layout. and I just really wanted to do sort of a fun layout and have a little bit of a play. So, you know, it's not like a serious kind of topic, it's just me in one of my favourite tops, with all the Marvel superheroes on, and yeah, it's just kind of a fun bit of layout really, and I'm gonna just do a little bit of journaling about buying clothes and where I like to buy clothes from. See, that's where that camera looks odd now, when it's placed on with the other layers. So I'm just sort of fussing around here, and I've cut one of the Polaroid, it's like a Polaroid transparency up, and that was also a remnant from the February Scraptastic kit. I've pulled in, say, that black Project Life card to the side, and also that Ormolu cut apart. I'm using that last piece of that Sprinkled with Love Alison Kreft heart paper. As I said, I use it as a background, but where I trimmed it down, I did keep the offcuts as well, and I really like how that works. And then trying to kind of use up all the little bits, so I've cut that Project Life card down, and I'm just going to trim it so it shows kind of one line of the text on there, which is all the stuff that says like everyday, daily routine, here and now, that kind of stuff. So, and that's just bringing that black up to the top as well. I want to kind of try and use these sticker sheets up, so I've got the Wild and Free sticker sheets, and I also have that Amy Tan +1 sticker sheet there as well. So I'm just taking one of those, it's a border strip and it's got little arrows on, and I'm just kind of trying to work out where I'm going to put my clusters with that. So I decided to put the clusters, they're not kind of straight across from each other, but they kind of are. Like visually they'll kind of draw your eye across, even though I can kind of go with the traditional kind of like 3 visual sort of triangle thing. There is then these feather stickers. I do kind of struggle with feathers because I always find they're not going the way you want them to. Like, I wanted one to kind of hug around one way, and then the other side one to kind of go the other way, if you see what I mean. But it didn't, and it looked wrong, and I always have that problem with feathers. They never kind of sit right. But, actually, I'm really happy with how they look on there. They've got absolutely nothing to do with the layout whatsoever, other than maybe Captain America is on my top with Marvel, and didn't he have kind of little feathers? Are they feathers that were in his hat? I don't know. That may have nothing to do with it at all. But, yeah, anyway. Yeah, feathers, they kind of just look nice on this layout, and they came from that collection. So I'm trying to use up any of these, excuse me, AB Tan stickers. I'm sure there's a scientific reason why when I yawn while I do these videos. Maybe it's to do with talking in the intake of oxygen and something, which is rubbish, because when you talk every day normally to actual people, you don't yawn. But anyway, I digress. So I'm taking the other sticker sheet that came in the collection pack, and that's got some little word phrases and bits on. So I'm just taking one of those which comes with little hearts. I did use the number stickers from the Amy Tan sheet to add the date there. And now I'm going to just use these stickers that were off the bottom part there. I must say they weren't cut brilliantly, so I do have to use my scissors to just trim them up, because they don't, you know, you kind of stick them down with the white, you can kind of see the colour of the sticker above them, and it just says, we are who we are. That's just it, really. The kind of ampersand on there doesn't have anything to do with the story, it just looks nice. But yeah, I kind of just like, you know, just like that. And I'm just going to write, as I said, I'm going to journal about clothes and buying clothes, because I actually bought that top from the States. Well, I didn't buy it in the States, so I ordered it online and got it delivered. Here I am with reckless abandon, putting this black ink on and getting it straight on my photo. that is the problem with being reckless. It goes on the photo. I'm also just using my the ink there to colour in that little potty person, in the sort of corrugated one. But actually, where I've added the mist, some of the corrugation kind of got wet and soggy and kind of disappeared. I do kind of manage to get most of that ink off, but then I managed to get it on some of the surrounding thing. But it kind of looks alright in the long run. It doesn't look too bad. It's not like, you know, there's a big splot of black on the photo. So I just stick on that little potty person, and it kind of evens out with the feather that's over the other side as well. So I'm really happy with how that looks. And I'm just taking some enamel dots, and these are the enamel dots that Moira sent me, and the orange worked really well on this layout, so I'm just adding a few of them, spotting them around the layout, and I'm really pleased with how those clusters came out. And you know, sometimes when you haven't scrapbooked for a while, as I said, like I said, I've been watching like videos and doing other stuff, but just to try and get like your mindset back in it and stuff, and especially because I've had a big move around and moved all my stash as well. It's not all set out 100% how I want it, so. But anyway, that is the end of the layout. So here is the close-ups, and I'll be back with some more process videos soon. So bye!